Hello, my dear friends. In this session, we are going to solve a very tough problem, over VCRS system. And this is our last problem as an example. That means problem to problem wise, from problem first to problem fifth, we are going to increase our level. And this problem number 5 is our last problem, and this problem is very tough and very tricky and very important for our gate examination. Okay, my dear friends, so let's start with the session. So first of all, we need to study this question in very effective manner. Okay, my dear friends, so in this question, first of all, we have to collect all the given data. Okay, so let's say start with the reading of this question. A VCRS system using R12 is employed to produce 8640 kg of ice in a day. That means a VCRS system which are using R12 as a refrigerant, which is going to produce every day approx 8640 kg. That means 8640 kg of ice per day. Per day, this refrigeration plant gonna be produced per day 8640 kg of ice. Okay, now the condensing and evaporator of refrigerant are this and this. So first of all, this given data gonna be plot over our TS scale. This is our TS scale. So this is our T and this is our S scale, and this is our saturation curve. And over this saturation curve, our temperature gonna be mentioned here, and our condenser temperature is nothing but 48 degrees Celsius, 48 degrees Celsius, and our evaporator temperature is minus 20 degree Celsius. So this is our evaporator, sorry, this is our condenser exit point. Here the condenser and evaporator refrigerant are this in this. Saturated liquid leaves the condenser. That means this is our condenser, and saturated liquid leaves the condenser. That means from here. And the compressor is isentropic. Okay, and saturated vapor leaves the evaporator, and saturated vapor leaves the evaporator. That means evaporator exit point is here, and sorry, and condenser point is, evaporator exit point is here, and condenser exit point is here. So my dear friends, by using of these point, we have to plot our graph is like that. Is it right? We have to plot our graph like that. Okay, so this is our graph. Okay, my dear friends, this is our point number fourth, this is our point number first, this is our point number second, and this is our point number third. Okay, my dear friends, this from point 1 to 2 is a compressor work, from point 2 to 3 is our condenser work, from point 3 to 4 is our throttle valve work, and from point 4 to point 1 is our evaporator work. Okay, my dear friend, and now here the compression is isentropic. Okay, the compression is isentropic. Okay, fine. And water at 35 degrees Celsius is used to form ice. Here your water, here your water at 35 degree Celsius is gonna be used to make ice, and the ice temperature is minus 8 degrees Celsius. That means your ice temperature is minus 8 degrees Celsius. So firstly you have to take water at 35 degrees Celsius, and by this RE effect, the cooling effect gonna be occur, and by the cooling effect this water gonna be changed into ice at -8 degrees Celsius. Okay, heat flow into the brine tank. First of all, we have to understand about that. Okay, what is the meaning of brine tank? So first of all, you dig your earth surface like that, and you have to take a bucket just like that and fill brine, and fill here brine, and now here you have to apply your evaporator. This is your evaporator. You have to apply your evaporator from point like that, point 4 to point 1, and this is your evaporator. From point 4 to 1 is your evaporator, and this evaporator can suck, this evaporator suck this QE heat, this QE heat. This evaporator can easily suck this QE heat, and by this extraction of QE by the evaporator, here cooling effect gonna be occur, here cooling effect gonna be occur, and by this cooling effect, and by this cooling effect, your ice gonna be formed at -8 degrees Celsius, and this surrounding, and this surrounding is your, and this surrounding is your nothing but 35 degrees Celsius, because from here, from this surrounding you carry your water, and by the using of this surrounding temperature water, you have to form ice at -8 degrees Celsius by this evaporator effect. Okay, my dear friends. Now, so let's start again. Okay, fine. Again, this question is, in this question, the heat flow into the brine tank from the surrounding, which is 10% of total heat removed from the water to the ice. Okay, जो इसमें कंटेनर में वाटर रखा गया है, और जितना हीट ये QE, जितना हीट ये इवोपरेटर लेके जा रहा है, उसका 10%, उसका 10% एटमॉस्फेयर से, दैट मीन्स ये सराउंडिंग से उसका 10% हीट इस सिस्टम में ऐड हो रहा है। दैट मीन्स जितना ये QE वैल्यू आता है हमारा, सपोज दैट ये QE वैल्यू हमारी एक साथी है, दैट मीन्स इसका 1%, सॉरी दैट मीन्स इसका 10%, दैट मीन्स 0.1% और हीट इसमें ऐड होगा ऑफ एक्स, और वो किसके कारण, वो फ्रॉम सराउंडिंग टू दिस ब्राइन कंटेनर। ये यहाँ पे कह रहा है कि हीट फ्लोज इनटू द ब्राइन टैंक्स फ्रॉम द सराउंडिंग इज द 10% of heat which carried from water to the ice. Is it right now? So the value of RE, the value of RE which you are going to calculate, so is, let us assume that X, then the total heat extracted from this system is considered as X plus 0.1 X, that means 10% of again this heat. Is it right? Now determine the total power required to drive the compressor. Here power input into the compressor. So total power drive, that means total power input is what? What is the total power input for this compressor? And here the given data is specific heat of ice is this, and latent heat of ice is this, and specific heat of vapor refrigerant is this. That means three more data are going to also given in this question. Three more data is what? That means CP of ice is what? 2.26 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Latent heat of is what? 334.72 kilojoule per kg, and here CP of vapor for a refrigerant is what? Is your 0.82 in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So these are the given values. Okay, my dear friends. Now you have to mention these all the values over this graph. Okay, so let's figure out at 48 degrees Celsius. At 48 degrees Celsius, the Hg value is what? 205.83, and S1 value is what? S1 values is, sorry, SF values is, that means this is your SF value. SF values is what? That means S3 is 0.2973, and SG is what? SG is your this value. This value is your SG. Again, this value is your SG value. That means 2 dash. That means S2 S2 dash is your this value. This value is S2 dash. Is it right? And here this value is your S1, and here this value is your S4, and here this value is your S3. That means this. And what is the value of Hg? This is the value of Hg. That means this is the H2 dash, and this is the value of 178 Hg, and this is the value of for this point number 4. Now, as per all the given data, what you have to apply? You have to apply direct formula. And what is your direct formula for this power input calculation? The power input is nothing but mass flow rate in bracket H2 minus H1. And as per question, my dear friends, only the value of H1 is given by the examiner, and the value of H1 is nothing but 178 178 point 178 point what? This 74. And here mass flow rate and H2 is not given. That means this H2 value and mass flow rate is not given. So my dear friends, by the using of some basics thermodynamics property, we have to calculate the Hg value, and we have to calculate this mass flow rate. Okay. So in next page, we have to calculate our H2 value. So first of all, what is our formula? Our formula of power input is mass flow rate in bracket H2 minus H1, where H1 is given as 178.74 in kilojoule per kg, and here H2 is nothing but HF, sorry, Hg, Hg as per thermodynamics formula, Hg plus Cp V in bracket T2 minus T saturation, T2 minus T saturation. So my dear friends, here T2 again is unknown for us. Okay, so again apply the entropy formula. So S2 S1 is just equal to S2, S1 is just equal to S2. Is it right now? So here S1 is just equal to 0.7087 as per given question. That means kilojoule per kg Kelvin. And so S2 equal to what? S2 equal to SF, that sorry, Sg plus CPV in bracket ln in bracket T2 divided by T saturation. Is it right? And here S2 is what? S1 is just equal to S2, so S2 is our 0.7087 is equal to 0.6802 plus 0.82 ln in bracket T2 by 321. 321 is our saturation temperature. That means 273 plus 48 degrees Celsius. That means 321 Kelvin. Okay, my dear friends. So here we have to easily calibrate the value of T2, and the value of T2 is also in Kelvin, and 3T2.353528 Kelvin. This is our temperature of T2, and by this substitution of this T2 value in this equation, we have to easily calibrate the H2 value. Okay, so H2 value is nothing but H2 is equal to 205.83 plus 0.82 in bracket 332.35, this value 28 minus 321, that means 273 plus 48 degrees Celsius, that means 321. Okay, so from here we have to calculate easily H2 value, and the H2 value is finally we can get easily 215.10 in kilojoule per kg. Is it right? Now we go for mass flow rate. By this equation we can easily calculate this H2 value. And what is the value of H2? H2 value is 215.10. Here 215.10. And now we are going for mass flow rate. Now we are going for mass flow rate. So what is the value of mass flow rate? Again my dear friends, the RE effect is nothing but mass flow rate in bracket H1 minus H4. Is it right now? And this is also called as refrigeration capacity, where H3 gonna be equal to H4, and this value is 82.83, which is also given in kilojoule per kg. Is it right? So when we are going for refrigeration effect, that means heat taken from the water. In other terms, we can say that this value is just equal to heat taken from the water by evaporator. In this figure, heat taken heat taken, this QE heat taken by the evaporator from the water is also known as RE. Is it right now? So my dear friends, we can write this equation like that. We can write this equation like that. That means mass of water that and Cp of water in bracket 35 minus 0 plus this is our specific heat of transformation from water to ice, and latent heat again m dot LH, and again m dot Cp for the ice, and from 0 degree Celsius to minus 8 degree Celsius. This is the full conversion in kilojoule, and by the divide of time we can easily write this equation like 24 into 60 into 60, and this is our refrigeration capacity. So the value of refrigeration capacity is nothing but 49.92 in kilowatt. And as per question, the 10% of this heat gonna be transferred from the surrounding to the brine. That means we have to also add this 10% of this value to the refrigeration effect. So again, for the refrigerant effect, we need to add some 10% value for this refrigeration capacity. Okay, so 49.92 upon 10 upon 100 into again 49.92, and this is our final value of this RE effect, and the final value of this RE effect is nothing but 54.91 kilowatt. Is it right? This is our final value of this RE effect. Okay, my dear friends, and now here again this RE value gonna be apply over here, and from here we can easily calculate this mass flow rate. Okay, my dear friends, again this value 54.91 gonna be equate with respect to the this mass flow rate, and the H1 values is also known 178.74, 178.74, and this H4 value is nothing but S3 value, and S3 value is 82.83, 82.83, and by this solving of this equation we can easily calibrate the mass flow rate, and the value of mass flow rate is 0.57, 0.57 in kilo in kg per second, and this is the value of mass flow rate which are in 0.57. Okay, so this mass flow rate is 0.57. So by this calibration of these values we have to easily calculate power input, that means mass flow rate is 0.57 in bracket. H2 value is 215, 215.1, and H1 value is 178, 178.74, this. Okay, and by by the solution of this value we can easily calculate the value of power input, and which is just equal to 20.7252, 7252 in kilowatt. And as per question, examiner asked about the total power required, and this is our total power required value, and this is our final answer. So my dear friends, this is a very tough question, and this is at conventional level question, and in gate examination if very complicated question can be asked, so by from this level इस लेवल से मतलब ऊपर नहीं आ सकता है अगर कितना भी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड क्वेश्चन एग्जामिनर बनाए। तो अगेन इस क्वेश्चन को एक बार कंसीडर करना बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है। सबसे पहले इस क्वेश्चन में एग्जामिनर ने डेली कितना आइस बनता है इस प्लांट के बारे में बताया है, तो डेली इतना आइस बनता है, ठीक है, इसका कोई यूज नहीं है। बट आगे द कंडेंसिंग एंड इवापोरेटर टेम्परेचर एग्जामिनर ने दे रखा है 48 एंड 20 डिग्री सेल्सियस, एंड अगेन सैचुरेटेड लिक्विड लीव्स द कंडेंसर एंड सैचुरेटेड वेपर लीव्स द इवापोरेटर। दैट मींस एग्जामिनर ने ये दोनों पोजीशन बता के सैचुरेटेड लिक्विड लीव्स द कंडेंसर एंड सैचुरेटेड वेपर लीव्स द इवापोरेटर, ये दोनों पोजीशन बता के एग्जामिनर ने ये बता दिया कि टीएस स्केल पे पूरा ग्राफ कहां से कहां तक सर्कुलेट करेगा। एंड नाउ द आइसेंट्रोपिक, now the compression will be isentropic and water is transferred from 35 degrees Celsius to the minus 80 degrees Celsius. So here we can apply both equation, that means specific heat as well as latent heat concept also. So examiner here given the value of latent heat of the ice as a 334.72, and also specific heat for the ice and specific heat in polar region for a refrigerant. And now the heat flow into the brine tank from the surrounding is 10% of the total heat removed from the water to the ice. That means when you are going to solve your RE effect, then you have to firstly calculate the Q value, and in additional 10% of this Q is the total value of RE. Is it right? So my dear friends, these are all the given data which have to firstly note it down over graph and over in symbolic way, and by the understanding of what is the brine solution and how it will be created. And now examiner asks about the total power required. So first of all you have to write the power input equation and notice that what is the unknown value, and step by step you have to calculate this all the unknown values, that means H2N mass flow rate. So by the next slide you have to calculate the H2 value, and the H2 value is this, and for the mass flow rate you have to go for refrigeration effect, and by this refrigeration effect you have to easily apply the heat transfer from the system from a specific heat to latent heat to a specific heat, and by this way you have to calculate this RE effect, and by the application of this RE effect you have to got easily the mass flow rate, and when you are got your mass flow rate as well as mass flow rate, when you are got your mass flow rate as well as your enthalpy for the point second. So here enthalpy from the of the point second is also known, and here mass flow rate is also known. So by the application of these three values, you have to easily calculate the power input for the system. So in this way, the any typical questions gonna be solved. Okay, my dear friends. So you need to review this lecture again and again. This lecture is very important, and इस लेक्चर की मदद से आप पूरे VCRS सिस्टम को समझ सकते हैं. Is it right? So thank you.